Hey everyone, Vazzy back here, and today it's time for episode 6 of my Tampa Bay Lightning franchise mode series here in NHL 24. So in today's episode, we are going to be starting off the regular season here for season 2. In the last episode, we did go over the re-sign stage, the draft, free agency, all of that. We didn't make any too big changes, just more depth pieces for the most part. 5th, 6th defenseman, some bottom 6 forwards, but nothing too crazy overall. And in this episode, I plan to take it to the halfway mark of the second season here at the 41 game mark. We're in no rush here at all, so yeah, let's kind of get into it and let's see how this team performs here in the second season. And before we do that, there was one small roster change I wanted to make. I mentioned in the last episode about getting some of the younger guys some ice time, and that is what I am going to do here. So I am sending down Puljujärvi, and I did want to call up Jack Finley. He's a prospect. He was a second round pick by the Tampa Bay Lightning a couple of years ago. He's huge. He's a 6'6 forward. I think it's time. We can probably give him some fourth line ice time. It's not going to affect anything too crazy, and even if it does, then we can just monitor it closely and kind of see how it goes. But I want to start giving some of those young guys some time that we have in the AHL here, as we are starting to get a couple of guys that probably could be fringe NHL players, so definitely want to get him some time here, at least at the start of the year. So let's start the regular season here. Let's jump into the first game against the Boston Bruins, see if we can start our season on a high note. With that being said, we do go down 2-0, 4-1 now. Kopitar has a couple for them, Stammer, 5-1. Definitely not the start we were looking for here to season number 2. Let's see if we can get a couple of goals here, make it a game. About 10 minutes left. We're out shooting them. Cirelli does get one on the power play. Jakob Trenin, new addition, does get one here with 5 minutes left. 5-3 Boston, 1 minute. And we will drop our home opener here to the Boston Bruins by a score of 5-3. So not ideal, but hey, just one game. Just take it a game at a time here. Up here against Boston again, can we rebound? We do. We beat them 7-2. So that's a big statement win there. Let's switch out the goalies. Let's get Allenfelt his first game here, since it is a back-to-back. I am going to be monitoring Allenfelt pretty closely here, because I didn't have a great year last year. Didn't have a great start there, 6-2 loss. But yeah, I'm not afraid to call up Johansson if he's not doing good. This is kind of one of his last chances here, potentially. He really hasn't performed great at the NHL level, so something to monitor anyway. As we go up here next against the Seattle Kraken. We do lose by a score of 5-3. Can we rebound in Philly? We do, 7-3. So, a little bit of a lackluster start here. As yeah, we're 2-4 now through our first 6 games. Kucherov's absolutely going off. 12 points in 6 games, you like to see that. But yeah, you want to see a little bit better team consistency. We're letting in a decent amount of goals, which is a little bit concerning, but it's still very early on here. Let's just kind of ride it out. We can look at some stats shortly. Let's get Allenfelt back in here, switch out Vazzy, get him a night off. And Allenfelt does beat the Nashville Predators. Solid game, 2-1. That's what you like to see. I have a feeling that might be one of his first NHL wins, I don't know. But throw Vazzy back in there. Against the Los Angeles Kings, who are not having a great season. Do beat them 6-0, so big shutout for Vazzy there. That's what you like to see. Toronto Maple Leafs, we do beat them as well in the shootout. So yeah, we're just over 500 again here. Like I said, we're going to kind of balance out here. Our record's going to go back and forth. Obviously not the best start, but kind of making up for it here as we do go to 8-5 here, 8-6. But overall, yeah, I think we're a solid team still. I don't think we have anything to be concerned about. We should be a playoff team. But the real question is, what are we going to do when we get to the playoffs? Are we still a champion team, or are we still kind of one of those fringe teams where really it might be better off getting some of those other pieces and not doing a full rebuild, but kind of a retool? I don't know. It's kind of a question we have to answer here, but want to see a little bit more of the simulation after we look at some stats here. So Kucherov, point, that first line is absolutely insane. Stamkos on the second, Hagel even on the first, they're all point a game. Morella is 12, Cirelli is 11. Jack Finley has 4, that's not bad for the young guy. Overall, everything looking pretty solid here through 15 games. Sergachev, almost a point a game. Goaltending numbers aren't amazing, is what it is. I'm gonna be honest, I think I'm gonna look for a trade for Shiri here quick. Yeah, Groshev, looking really, really good. Give me 1 sec here, guys. So I have found a potential trade here for Connor Shiri. Just hasn't been amazing. Sending him to Vancouver here potentially for a second. Brisebois just for the roster spot. Never was the biggest fan of Shiri after he signed, so can we get a 2nd round pick for him? No, too far off the table. Kind of was thinking that the value looked a little bit off. Can we get a 3rd and a 4th? Looks more fair, maybe a little bit high on our part. Yeah, just a bit low, so if we make this a 5th, I'm assuming it should go through here. Try the Vancouver 5th. Wow, they still say no to that. Yo, honestly, I'm willing to do it just for a 3rd. Get an asset back, another draft pick. We're low on those, so that's always good. So I called up Groshev here. He is going to be playing 2nd line with Cirelli and Stamkos. I just moved Morella down just because chemistry's better overall, so +3, +1. Yeah, we'll see how they do, see how he does at the NHL level. I definitely think he was ready for it, so see how he can do with his call-up. Let's jump into this game against the Islanders here. Why not? We've only done one of those this episode, so they're 4-10, not having the best season. See if we can take advantage of that here. We do go up 3-0. Hagel, Finley, Kucherov. Groshev first NHL goal. Kucherov, Kulikov, as we are up 6-2 here. Ryan Pulock does make it a game here. 6-3 now. Yeah, overall it's a pretty good effort from the guys. It is weird, we are still letting in like 3+ goals a game here. Not the biggest fan of that. Maybe we have to add another defenseman. Maybe a guy like Kulikov's not really getting the job done. I don't know. We'll have to go and look at some analytics after and some more stats on him for sure, but we do take this game here against the Islanders by a score of 6-4, which is good. At the end of the day, all you want is the wins, so. Going up against St. Louis here, we do lose by a score of 5-2. Roman Schmidt, that's AHL. But yeah, like I said, we're kind of just on cruise control here. I want to be aware of some stuff like Finley, some of those younger guys, all that. Bottom pairing defensemen, but nothing to be too concerned about at the moment. Let's get Allenfelt back in here, as we do have a back-to-back here twice, I believe against the Sharks and Ducks, so get him a couple of games. He does get a win in the first one. And going up against the Ducks, Samorukov goes down. Overall, I have been a little bit more of a fan of Allenfelt. I'm sure the numbers aren't like super crazy, but he's at least picking up some wins. Where I think last year he went like 0-5 or something, just horrible numbers. So there is some progression there. He definitely, I think, can be a future backup for us here, hopefully in the long term, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. So we do have an injury here. Guess we'll just throw Radish for now as Kulikov goes down. He has not got into any NHL action yet, so throw him in there. Overall, everything's looking pretty good. Weidman's the only minus there, so happy with that overall, as hopefully he's not out too long. 3-0 win against the Rangers, going up against the Leafs. Kulikov is back. We won't play him right away. A little bit of time to rest. Let's see what we can do against Toronto, and we'll throw him back in. We do lose 5-2. So let's throw Kulikov back in there. Let's kind of see how he's been doing this season. Radish was a -1 in 2 games, nothing too crazy. -6, 1 goal, 1 assist. It's not horrendous. Let's maybe just mix it up again. Perfect's been good, kind of spread it around here a bit. We'll see how that goes. That is one thing I do want to continue monitoring. We have that solid top 3 on defensive, Hedman, Sergachev, and Cernak, but it does drop off quite heavily after that, unfortunately, so definitely something that I think closer to the trade deadline we want to look at, as Kulikov does go down again. Maybe he wasn't fully healed, I don't know, but Just throw Perbix back up there, and then we will throw Radish back in his spot. It's alright for the moment. Do win there against Pittsburgh, as we will switch the goalies here quick. Get, I believe, Alan Philp back in here for a game or two. Yeah, that looks good. But overall, yeah, we're sitting 17, 11, and 2. 18, 11, and 2. Yeah, we're doing just fine. It's one of those things with the sim. You're going to have those years where you just start really slow, but it all does kind of balance out at the end of the year here, so I guess midway through here, but that being said, we are doing much better than at the start. So we beat the Jets as well. Kulikov's ready to come back. Definitely let him sit for a little bit after getting 2 injuries here. But yeah, let's look at some stats here quick. Point, he's definitely going off to 94. Him and Cooch just play so good together. It's absolutely crazy. Hagel definitely is a great fit on that line. Not seeing anything too crazy. Morella, he's actually looking really good. 20 points in 33 games. That's really solid. Finley, yeah, everyone's looking not too bad, I think, at least here on forward wise. Defensively, Sergachev almost a point a game. That's really good again to see. Nothing crazy. Vassy's numbers are coming back a little bit, but goaltending numbers are a little bit inflated this year. Something to monitor again. Could be just because of the defense, but you know, we'll see what happens here. Isaac Howard being our AHL team, that's good to see. Definitely going to be a piece of the future either next year or the year after that. So, with that being said, let's sim up to our Christmas Day game here against the Carolina Hurricanes. I don't know if I've seen that, I don't know if I just never looked for it, but we have a game on Christmas Day here. It's very interesting to see, as the NHL doesn't normally play on Christmas, so 2-1 after one. Let's see, still 2-1. Yeah, that's very interesting. I don't know if that's something that normally happens, but yeah, it's interesting. Long 5-on-3 power play, 5-on-4. Get nothing halfway through the period here. Shots are about even. Haven't seen any goals since the first period. Can we come back here last minute? Carolina does hang on and wins 2-1. So we lose the Christmas Day game against Carolina Hurricanes, is what it is. Let's continue on here as we are very close to the midway point here where we will be stopping the video. Anthony Cirelli goes down. That's not great. What can we do here? I guess let's just move Paul. Who do I have scratched? Michael McCarron. Yeah, let's give him some ice time. Let's throw Finley up there. Give him a chance. Again, if it's not working, we can monitor that, change it up, but how are we going to know if we don't give these guys the chance? So, Perbix goes down now too. So Kulikov, I believe, is back. I just forgot him, so should be good defensively. Yeah, so we'll just throw Kulikov there. Throw Radish on the second. And then we'll just switch those guys quick. Yeah, that's fine for me, I think, for now. Switch the goalies here quick against Boston before we get back into the simulation. But yeah, it looks like the injury bug has bit us a little bit here. Unfortunately, it's not amazing, but it's going to happen at some point. Trade offer D'Angelo for Howard? No shot. Do lose to the Bruins. Take Alan Philp back out. There we go. As, yeah, we are 4 games away from the midway point here. And Kulikov goes down, so we will have to call up a defenseman. It's not ideal, as the injuries are coming up here. Let's call up Jack Thompson, I think. Yeah, he doesn't need waivers. Another young guy, we'll give him a chance. Kind of see how he fits on the lineup here for the rest of this year, or probably next year, year after, whatever. Kind of see how he plays. And let's move him down, give Weidman some more ice time here. And yeah, I'll just fill this with whoever is scratched. But yeah, not ideal getting all these injuries. It's not the end of the world, of course. Not the most important guys other than Cirelli, but up against the Vancouver Canucks. Do beat them by a score of 6-3. They really want Isaac Howard there. 4-1 loss, and our final game of simulation here today. We do win 4-2 against the Vegas Golden Knights. So at the halfway point here, we do sit in a wild card spot, which is good to see. I think I feel like we should be higher, but you know, it is what it is. 24, 14, and 3. Look at these player stats here quick halfway through. Man, yeah, I can't believe how good of chemistry Point and Kucherov have. It's very, very good to see. They're ripping it up. Morella's looking good. There's no one here that's really looking too out of place. Defensively, yeah, it's looking good. Thompson is 3 games, looks alright. Nothing too crazy. Kulov's call is not great, but Vazzy's numbers are coming back as well. So I don't know, guys. I definitely want to, I think, look for a defenseman here at the deadline. Nothing too crazy overall. But yeah, I want to add a solid piece, really help with that playoff run. I don't know, maybe this is one of our last years where we really go for it, so I don't know, we'll have to see here for sure. But that is going to do it for today's episode of my Tampa Bay Lightning franchise mode. Yeah, I will see you guys all in the next video of this, where we will simulate the second half of the season and get ready for the Stanley Cup playoffs.